I still believe. I think, yeah. I mean, there's definitely so many bands. Like, there's one band I'm gonna name, like Sanjeev, Rainbow Bridge. Holy shit. There's a lot of feel and there's a lot of soul in that band. The music might not be commercial or anything, but you know what? Sanjeev especially, uh, he brought a lot of soul into that, man. Like, he put a lot of feel, and there's times, and sometimes there's magic, it creates some sort of magic. And those are the those are the times when you kind of realize that, that kind of music is really good. So Sanjeev, uh, Frank's got the funk. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes, I've heard of Frank of the Funks. Yeah,
yeah,
they were pretty
Frank's.
good.
Yeah, yeah. Those guys were like, wow, man, so awesome. Like, what a cool fucking band. And I know Bjorn, the singer. It's funny, he has a Scandinavian name. His name is Bjorn, and it's written like in Scandinavian, Bjorn, like Bjorn. It's so cool.
Yeah, like Bjorn Borg, the tennis player,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So, uh, yeah, I mean, it's a struggle for these kind of artists, and I feel like um, that that kind of music really needs to come out. And there's so many bands in India who good for the money, man. Like, uh, but I think the industry in itself does not want rebellion. They don't want rebellious artists. They only want artists who will conform to the way they see it fit.
Commercial artists, like
Yeah,
you tell them what to do, they'll make the
you tell them
tune
what
for
to
you.
do. You tell them
That's it.
who to sing with, know how to sing, and they just do it.
Right.
They don't want to deal with artists anymore, because artists are strong-headed, and they're probably like, if they told me that I need to sing more pop music, I'd just look at them and be, fuck yourself.
So when you like moved to Norway
Yeah.
and you had all the thoughts in your mind to like to be a part of that scene where you can be more of an artist, and so that the people listen to your music, you can create good music with all the different artists. How did things turned in Norway initially?
You mean how things worked out for me?
Yeah, for initial days, like when you came here,
Yeah,
started.
that's the same like every place, bro. Like every time you go anywhere new, you kind of have
Mhm.
to walk into the circle. There's always the cool cats.
Right.
You gotta nudge your way in and find your way in somehow. And then the thing is, for me, what happened was I was immediately accepted. Like, I know many
Okay.
musicians who are not uh, locals, who haven't been accepted into the scene still. But someone like me was given a lot of chances. They really gave me a lot of space and to shine. And yeah, and then I just started getting like a real good fan following. Like, my name was in town all the time. Everyone talked about me. They're like, "Oh yeah, JereMaya, shit, man, this guy." So I'm not one to talk about myself, so I wouldn't say whether some of the things I've heard, because I don't think that's nice. But yeah, I started getting a little more popular, and then I started playing, and then I got a message from the Voice, and I thought I'd give it a shot, and I did. And then newspapers and people starting to believe in the project and blah blah blah, and so much great stuff happened. I'm grateful for every single interaction I've had, and now, as I said, I've always told my father that, I always told my dad that we needed to start a restaurant or something, like a family business, because I know he loves to eat food and I love to eat, and who doesn't, right?
Right.
So we were thinking that we should start a restaurant or something of some sort, but it didn't happen. And I kept talking about it, and I kept thinking that I really wanted something like that. And then I met my business partner, and now I have that place. I was in the interview with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah. So that's it's all coming together, man. I mean, it's funny, it's hard sometimes here and there, but life is hard. It's supposed to be hard, otherwise it wouldn't be fun, right?
Right. Right.
So here we are.
Yeah. So there was one instant I was speaking about, and that was this song that I was trying to tell Sidhu, and I forgot about it totally. So
Uh,
there's this one riff in a song called "Hold."
yeah,
Right? There's just one version of the song out there. Like there's no proper music video, I think, apart from it. But that one particular song has the one particular part in it where you and Sidhu, both of you have like a proper jam like going on, and that is like one of
yeah.
my favorite sessions of the song, man. Like, is it like was it planned or did you guys just like got it done?
No, no, we just that was no planning, man. That was just while we were just jamming the song. He was just going fucking crazy. Sidhu and me always had this. Uh, we always had this love, man. We always had this connection. Like, we just. It was more like him and I were always like, grooving together. Like we were always there, and I did groove a lot with Craig too, because that's how it's supposed to be, right? Like, but I'm never a person who thinks how it's supposed to be is the only way. There has to be another way too. So I found this intense connection with Sidhu on stage, which was fucking musically uplifting. And I still remember we were inside his practice pad. I told you, right? Probably really unhealthy for all of us to be in there because I don't think the mold quotient was taken into account. But he had a space, and that was where the magic happened. As bad as it may seem, and whatever, that was where the magic happened. I still remember when he played that. When it was the first few times I was introduced to the song, and I was trying the song out, and then every time he went to that fucking solo section, when he went there in the part of the song, I used to just travel with him for some reason. I just went with him, and yeah, and then it just kind of stuck, and nobody said anything about it. We just kept doing it, and it just kept happening, and that was it.
Dude, because that is my favorite part of the song. It like that song
Yeah.
became my favorite song due to that section. Like you're just going
man,
mental, that Sidhu is
yeah.
going crazy. Like it's such an amazing riff.
Sidhu's
So I just wanted
a fucking champion, dude. Fuck.
Yeah. So we let you out one thing. Like he did say something that that he loved working with you so much, and that you recently reached out to him to do some guitar section, and
Yeah.
he just like did something, but he couldn't actually follow it up because he was busy. But like even then, like you called him,
No,
saying
like
he got
see,
it
the
tough.
thing is,
Like
the thing
yeah,
is, social media is made it in such a way that if a person is not really active on social media, then you kind of forget that person, even though you have this bond with them. When life happens, right? Like he's busy. The state of America, man. It's like gone to the dogs now.
Right.
So it's just his life is like that. My life is just taken off on this end. I have a beautiful boy, and as I mentioned before, I'm not married to the mother or with the mother. But she's an amazing person, and we have a great friendship and a great like parenthood. Together. We're trying to raise our son to be a nice, to be a good human being. So I have that. He's got stuff going on, and uh, doesn't matter. It's gonna happen. Whatever's meant to happen is gonna happen. So I don't
yeah,
have
but
a yeah.
but he
But
was up for the
that's social
reunion too.
media.
Yeah, but he was up for the
Reunion.
reunion too. Like yeah, we told him that like you were up for it. Like he said, yeah, even I'm up for it. I reached out to Craig, but he was like, he wasn't like, he told me that he was busy, he couldn't do the podcast. So never got the chance to ask him. Amit, as usual, just didn't respond to us. So like, we've got 2 out of 4, but the 2 out of 4, I would love to hear the riff, man. Like, just like you guys are jamming it out, like for 10, 20 minutes straight.
And
Like nobody would, I think, mind at all.
that
Just
will be
Sidhu and
very
Jerry
amazing.
jams.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be special because he's probably one of the best
Yeah.
guitar players I've ever played with.
Yes.
You know,
He
every time I
actually
played with
showed
other
us.
guys in Dubai and stuff like that, every time I played with other artists from different places, I was always just like, man, what the hell, bro? Like, you suck. What's to do, man? Like, shit, why can't I play with this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
He
awesome,
showed
man.
us
He
his
has
guitar
something.
collection as well
Oh,
from
yeah,
JYG.
fuck.
So he
Must have
still
a
has
lot.
that guitar from JYG. His
The
first
Les
guitar is
Paul,
still there.
the Les Paul
Yes.
custom. Les Paul custom
Yes.
special edition junior or something.
And then he has now, I guess, around 10 in his collection.
If you see that guitar, there's a black, just at the
Yeah.
below the strings. There's a
Right,
black
right.
mark. That just shows how long this guy sits. This guy's crazy, man. He's so in love with guitar, like he just sits for hours. And I never practice. Like never, zero. I'm just gifted. Thank you. I'm kidding. So this is gonna be like, hey, what the hey, nada.
I mean, if somebody is playing for 11 bands at a time, they've got to be practicing
Yeah.
through that. I mean,
All the time.
Hey,
All the
but
practice,
time.
right?
that was my logic, right? That's my logic. I was like, hey, this is practice.
yeah.
You know, so I'm practicing with people. So, oh my God, I'm
So in terms of how the music has like gone up fully, like in terms of 3 different countries now, you recently made a post about you not like endorsing Spotify anymore because you thought that it wasn't the place like that honored artist, but rather people who like made, as you mentioned, commercial music. So what kind of platform do you think would kind of help people to break out? Like if somebody wants to start, like somebody wants to
You
do
know what,
something.
man? I'm going to go old school.
Yeah.
Okay, streaming is awesome. I get that. It's fine. You can easily search and blah blah blah. But what's so hard in just typing a website in, going to that artist's page, supporting that artist by downloading their music and adding it to your fucking library? How hard is it?
But then how does somebody find that artist? Like I remember back
So
in
you know, when you go
2009 or
to
10.
people's places, when you go
Yeah.
places and you listen to music, like see,
Yeah.
Shazam, you can create like this is an idea. You know what? Hopefully somebody picks it up and does it because I don't have the fucking time to do it. Like Shazam, for instance, when you listen to music, you put it up there, and if you have a relationship with Shazam, Shazam directs you straight to the artist, and you can use Shazam as the app to listen to music.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, and download. But now what happens is, they're streaming everything, and there's so much information, so much new music. Every day there's a fucking hit, and these hits all sound the damn same. And there's no support system for real artists who are trying to get their music heard. I feel like we're all screaming for help, and nobody wants to hear it. So there has to be a way that people, the buyers, the consumers are educated. Just like when you buy a MacBook, or the guy who runs you. The first time you buy a MacBook, he teaches you.
Right.
He kind of explains some stuff to you, right? So it's just like that. If we can go back to that mentality and stop this capitalist, regime of just shoving information, shoving new music all the time. There's so much information. I'm like, I'm going to miss out on opportunities. So there has to be a class quotient, Like you can walk into a Taskmaster anytime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. As lame as it sounds, the guy who's running the Taskmaster, will he get into a nightclub unless he was filthy rich?
That's true. Yeah. That's a good analogy, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's more like rights of admission reserved. There's so many people who can't sing. They're not musicians. They're just people who are looking for 2 seconds of fame, like that fucking 5 minutes of fame, and then bam, it's out. Like every song that comes out it has a shelf life. It's like music is supposed to be evergreen. That's the last lifetime.
True.
And we're going to preserve that, right? We're talking about preservation of nature and saving this, saving that, but we can't even save the first thing that is. You can't even save the first thing that lies in your house. That sits in your. You can't even clean your house, but you're talking about big stuff, right? It's all interrelated. I feel it's all connected, and it's just that it's got to change. I would say there has to be an app company that, like I would think Shazam is in my head works for me because Then you have Shazam as a music app, right? And you listen to the song, you hear, and it directs you to the website. You pay this much money, download that song, you support the artist, you have it on your phone, and now you got a selection, right? But the problem is, people don't want that kind of stuff anymore. Spotify and all these, streaming platforms, what they've done is they've taken away the honor and the grace of music. And now people just want to hit, I have a 90s playlist, bam, hit it. I'm at a party. Okay, that should survive too. That should be there too. But not every time. People don't know artists anymore, man. Like, people don't know singers anymore. Like, there's no singers who are blowing me away. Like, when I hear the intensity, of their voices, I want to be like, wow. But they are there. That's the problem. They are there, but they're not in the limelight because, Cardi B is going to be on the limelight.
True. That's actually true. Yeah.
It's sad, man. And it's not just one industry. Everyone's like, oh, why are you talking about the American industry? And I was like, which other industry is giving you? Which other industry is in the monopoly and leading in the monopoly? They're the guys who own the business. They're the guys who run the show. So it has to be an awareness coming from there.
Standing now, calling all the people here to see the show. Calling from my demons now to let me go. I need something, give me something wonderful. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba, ba.